Well, I came out here to film a video of the car. I'm getting new tires put on this week. And as soon as I pulled in, this one's flat. So I don't know what happened, but it's flat. So, yep, waiting for a tow truck. Thank you, AAA. Well, there it is up on the thing.
Also, I did the Charles River clean up a bunch of years.
Right through.
So yeah, right.
I have to do that thing where I pull up like as if I'm just showing up for the first time. So I got to do that, and then I'll be back. Really hope I got that in frame. Oh yeah, so let's drop this down. I should put a stopwatch here or something. And then having these windows up just to give you an idea of what this looks like. Yeah, there you go. This is, by the way, this is the Lumar Pinnacle Air 80 window tint, which I've had on a few cars now. Let's make sure I'm still in frame, and then I'll make the video. This is my new car. I have some B-roll here. I'm going to put some clips into the video as I'm talking, but I'm pretty much going to talk this through first person. And I have some GoPro clips and some Insta360 clips and all kinds of clips of me driving this car for the last week around New Hampshire and Vermont. Oh, this window didn't go all the way down. That's interesting. Little quirks. There we go. Okay, better. So, this is my steel blue metallic BMW 330 Ci convertible. It's an 02. I'm the fourth owner. The first owner was a lease. They owned it for about a year, turned it into a dealership, which CPO'd it. And then a guy who was the editor-in-chief of the Indianapolis, or publisher of the Indianapolis newspaper, bought it for he and his wife to take Sunday trips. They owned it from 03 or 04 until 2017. And in that time, they put about first owner put 8,000 miles on it. The second owner sold it with 26,000 miles. So over the course of, multiple years, over a decade. And then Randy, who sold it to me, he bought it in 2017 and put 5,000 miles on it. So I had 32.5 when I bought it. So, 8,000, 17,000, 5,000. Is that 32? I don't know. That's 22. Either way, whatever. I'm not good at math. So the fourth owner has 33,000 miles now because I've been driving it the past few weeks, mostly to get projects done to it. Down to Boston to get window tinting, tire places, detailers, mechanics, etc., etc., and a couple of ice cream runs. I don't know how true this is, but I asked ChatGPT how rare this car is. I gave it the VIN number, I gave it the build sheet with all the build codes, I gave it the color, the manual transmission, the year. ChatGPT tells me they're between 75 and 150 of these ever produced. And by that it means 330 Ci Sports, not ZHPs, but 330 Ci Sports convertibles that are steel blue metallic with a blue soft top, a gray interior, and a 5-speed manual that are fully loaded. So estimations roughly 150 of these produced. It could be as high as 500, but it's not a big number. Also, these are ZHP 18-inch style 135 wheels. I have the 17 inches it came with. The second owner put these ZHPs on. I love them, and they're beautiful. Yes, with 18 inches, you're gonna get worse ride quality, but style-wise, they look really good. And I've wrapped them in Michelin Pilot 4S, Sport 4S tires. They are staggered. So the front is 225, 40, 18. And the rear is 255, 35, 18. So staggered wheel setup. But fully loaded otherwise. It is not the ZHP package, which actually would have been a rougher ride. But I mean, look at the, if I'm gonna point out the imperfections of this, I run around it. So there's this nick right here. I keep going around. There's a nick right there. There's some wear underneath the front fender. There's a nick right there. And there's a nick here from someone's, there's one on the other side too, from a shopping cart hitting it. Yeah, it's over here, the shopping cart hitting it, or a door or something hitting it. But that is it. I mean, look at this rubber. I'm just gonna take this here. Look at this, how pliable this rubber is. Let's pop the hood actually. So I'm the fourth owner. And even simple stuff like the area behind the door handle is perfect. I have not had it actually professionally detailed yet. I'm gonna have a guy, whoops, that's the rear, OptiCoat it, which will give me 10 years of paint protection. We're not going to PPF it because I don't commute in it or ride on the interstate. So, now this motor is dirty. It's dirty from just being dirty. But yeah, it's a 3.2 liter inline 6, naturally aspirated, no turbo, no super. You can look at these hoses and how everything is still pliable with BMW markers on it. It was serviced with BMW parts. So I've kept that tradition alive by putting BMW air filter, oil filters. I'm not screwing around with that. But look at the oil filter. I mean, this is just like, everything is just like, even this, like, it's just not even worn down. This is a car with 32,000 miles on it. You still have the original marks from the factory. Steel blue metallic color. Everything VIN matches. All these plastics are still, I mean, looking at this, guys, looking at this, like, give this a squeeze. That's still nice and soft and supple. I have my mechanic going through and giving me his opinion on, like, do we need to replace the coolant reservoir expansion tank, which tends to crack with age and heat cycles? Probably should just replace it. It's 40 bucks and put some fresh coolant in there. But if you look at this motor and just think to yourself, this car was built in 2002, April of 02, I think. 33,000 miles now on it, and I mean, look at the headlights. It's just immaculate. So what are some thoughts on this car? Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about this car. I'll show you the interior too. It's slow. I'm glad I didn't get a 325 or a 318 or a 320. take this out. I gotta go pick up my daughter in a minute from school, as you can see from the thing in the back here. But you know, rear here, perfect shape. Everything's in fantastic condition. Everything is, you know, there's a little nick right there, I guess, as well. But here's the back trunk. This is my cover that goes over the soft top, but the battery back here, everything is in shape, decent shape with the BMW floor mats, but look at that carpet. You can see here just the condition it's in. Oh, one area I do want to fix, replace is, he did replace the rear, the trunk shocks, but there's some wear here. I'm going to probably end up just buying a new weather sealant and put that in here. But you can look at here, all the, you know, all the plastics, the steering wheel, all this here. The shifter is in great shape. There is some damage on this cup holder right here. You can see there. So I have priced out those parts. I'm going to order those parts and probably replace the cup holder itself. You just grab right here and you squeeze up on it, but replace that. There's also this thing here holding my auxiliary radio that's broken. Those clips are broken, so I'll replace that too. But truthfully, there's nothing really wrong with this car that needs actually fixing. Let me show you the other side here. Oh, I'm gonna do this. There we go. But, you know, nothing but that can't really be buffed out, you know? It's really in flawless condition for its age. And this after me driving it for 3 weeks around town without really touching the interior and cleaning it up. But it's really a gorgeous interior. And so, you know, driving impressions, it's slow. I'm glad I did not buy a lower trim model because this thing is horribly slow. You know, a modern Corolla, or Camry, or GTI can smoke this thing. That's not what it's about, though. It's about that driving experience, and this thing delivers. It really delivers. Look how long that ass is, by the way. The convertible is a foot or two longer than the coupe. So you can see just how nice that line is from, just take a second to appreciate it, from that front window, that line that rides all the way back to the door handles, all the way back to the rear brake light or turn signal. It's really something to behold. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous body line. I like that the convertible has that extra 1.5 feet or so for the convertible top because it actually makes the thing longer, and it just looks like this wonderful cruiser. You know, just drive from here to Key West and stopping for gas. So yeah, fuel economy, getting 25 miles per gallon. It's an inline six. You're going to get shitty fuel economy. It's 250 horsepower from the factory. Who knows what it is now? But when you're on the highway doing 65 in 5th gear and you give it throttle, you're hitting 80 or 90 within a few seconds. You don't need to downshift. You don't need to wait for the turbo to spool up. You know, modern turbo stuff. They've done twin turbo or twin scroll turbo, and all that stuff is, you know, accounting for lag. There's no lag. You find yourself at passing speed really fast for its age, right? I mean, there are faster cars once the forced induction kicks in, but this doesn't have that problem. Let me show you underneath. If you can see underneath, yeah, it's. When I first took delivery of it, I thought the suspension's super clunky, but then I put new fresh rubber on it, and the fresh rubber, these pilots, it was 8-year-old Conti Extreme Contact tires on there before, and with fresh rubber, this thing is doing much better now. I think just driving it just driving the thing and giving it a little bit of, you know, some twisty roads here in New Hampshire and Vermont was really all I needed to do to get this thing woken up a little bit. But yeah, I have the 17 inches as well. They have 17-inch wheels. So what are we gonna do to it? Well, we're actually almost done with the project. Window tinting is done, new tires all around. I'm doing the oil change tonight myself, so I have everything I need for that with some liquid moly oil and OEM air filter, cabin air filter, engine oil. I love this front end. Also, because it's fully loaded, it has the bi-xenons, which is really nice. If you buy a facelift, an 04 to 06 E46 330 that's fully loaded, you'll also get LED tail lights and turn signals, but I don't have that. Just have the regular halogens. But steel blue is only available in 02 and 03. So 04, they dropped steel blue as a color. So I much prefer it. And also they did a facelift. So this is pre-facelift, which I hear is more desirable. So what's next? Well, my mechanic in Heartland, Vermont is going to go through. He's a BMW tech. He's going to go through and basically flush every fluid from this car. Replace the brake lines with steel brake lines. Replace the coolant reservoir. Inspect all the hoses. Do spark plugs. Maybe do ignition coils. You know, check the Vanos system. Check for codes. Just look through the whole thing. But I don't anticipate, oh, I gotta go. I don't anticipate too many problems from this thing overall. But I'll catalog the whole journey from here on out. So I'm gonna keep talking about it and giving you guys the play-by-play, but it's in flawless shape, guys. There's just a couple of things on the interior I wanna replace, but it's in perfect condition. And the fourth owner, very exciting. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Drive safe. Well, it said the bridge was out and we didn't believe them, so we kept driving. Hey, hey Heather, can we jump it?
You could not do that in a motorcycle either.
So a couple years ago, I came on the other side of the GS, and I tried to go through here. It was back there was like really just built up with weeds. I couldn't get around it.